I'm gonna get revenge for my son Grendel.
No! Ah! Why isn't this sword working? Ah! Ah!
Ah!
Ah!
Need some assurance after reading that terrible book, Angel's Ashes.
What a Pulitzer Prize.
Tell us all the juniors forced to read it. Anyways, I need some insurance to cover my alcohol expenses.
At Farmers, we've seen almost everything, so we know how to cover almost everything, even dads that are never there for their family.
Mama, I'm hungry. When's Dad gonna be home?
Just wait a little, Frank. Your father will be home soon with the money for his new job. And if you're still hungry, there's chicken left over.
Trying to help. Do you know in the first picture that
And if when all a vigil keep the west asleep, alas and well my Aaron weep, the knock lies in slumber deep. But ark, a voice like thunder spake, the west awake, sing, oh, hooray, let England quake, we'll watch till death for Aaron's sake. Angela, is there a drop of tea in this house? See who comes over the red-blossomed heather, the green banners kissing the pure mountain air. Head erect, eyes to front, stepping proudly together. Sure freedom sits thrown down each proud spirit there.
You're a disgrace. Why don't you get out of the house altogether? You're not sleeping in this bed tonight.
If you don't want alcoholism to keep your family in endless poverty, get Farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers.
Hello, and welcome to the Frankenstein Show. I'm Frank.
And I'm Stein. And together we are Frankenstein.
Society is a merciless abyss that often translates to the extremely competitive world of sports.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Frank. Now let's jump into the first topic today, steroids. It has been found that 17-time All-Star LeQuan James has been caught using steroids. Let's take a look at his grossly abnormal body.
Absolutely disgusting. But it's hard for me to say that I am surprised, as it is an age-old trend for individuals to obsess over their chase for acclaim, and in that chase, they usually disregard certain aspects of their lives.
Yes, as LeQuan has always been chasing the shadow of his predecessor, Nikhil Jordan. He has struggled to gain the respect he deserved from fellow members of the media, so he decided to cross the line of no return. Society's expectations of the greatest or nothing has led to many incredible people to eventually be rejected.
For our high school viewers, a parallel to the classic Frankenstein is in order, as we can see similarities in the plights of Victor and LeQuan. Both were driven to reach a higher standard by their peers, both sacrificed a vital part of their lives to achieve it. Victor sacrificing his family, and LeQuan his dignity and purity. And finally, both resulted in a hideous monster in the end. Victor literally creating an ugly monster, and LeQuan now viewed as a monster by his fans.
Yes. Continuing with the Frankenstein parallel, our boys in production have provided a quote that perfectly encompasses the mood. My cheek had grown pale with study, and my person had become emaciated with confinement. Sometimes on the very brink of certainty I failed, yet still I clung to hope which the next day or the next hour might realize. As Frankenstein said on page 44, the desperation of Victor to achieve a level of greatness is similar to LeQuan's desperation to continue to shine in a changing sport.
Wow. Truly sad how humans are continually caught up in society's expectations. Anyways, moving away from basketball, our next topic is about former 7-star baseball recruit Sasahi Otto. Sasahi was not allowed to enroll in Harvard's campus due to an understanding that he would not be able to perform academically.
Oh my. To further explain, administrators at Harvard had denied Mr. Otto's acceptance to the school because of his baseball background. It is no secret that baseball players are not the most intellectual athletes, but it seems that Harvard's only glaring reason for their decision is that he was associated with these bat swingers.
It is truly saddening that our community views people by the initial labels we place on them.
Exactly. There are a large population of baseball players that are excellent students, and even if that weren't true, Sasahi had been out of the sport for quite a while. So why has he still retained such an offensive label? The answer to that question, unfortunately, is that all of us view an individual by the labels that we have placed on them. If we somehow doubt these labels, we dare not to oppose the community's views, so we reform ourselves.
Frankenstein, once again, is a perfect literary example for our millions of Brit Lit students watching the show. The monster in the story has always been judged and despised because of his hideous appearance, although he has proven to be much more. For example, another quote from our boys, "I rushed from my hiding place and with extreme labor from the force of the current, saved her and dragged her to shore. She was senseless, and I endeavored by every means in my power to restore animation." Page 120, the monster speaking. This is a deliberate contradiction from the author to show the tremendous goodness that the monster possesses.
In my opinion, this is my least favorite aspect of society, a pit that traps so many but very few escape. Frankenstein's monster is one that was not fortunate enough to break out of his shackles. Instead, he embraced his monster image. Near the end of the book, the monster torments his creator until his death in another quote. "I knew that I was preparing for myself a deadly torture, but I was a slave, not the master, of an impulse which I detested, yet could not disobey." Page 184. This is Victor lamenting the chamber that monster has now trapped him in.
Very well said. Looks like we're out of time. Catch the rest of our show on our Spotify podcast. Hello. Are you a future Brit Lit student? Do you have an opinion on the society in which you live in? Have you read before? Do you SparkNote your assigned readings? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then what I have today is just for you.
For only a limited time, we are selling the Ultimate Chronicles depicting all of the various aspects of society.
That's right. The world is a dark and messed up place, but how well do you know it?
In The Knight's Tale, you can learn how important brotherhood and loyalty to friends through the trials of Arcita and Palamon. How men at the time were forced to obey a moral code, or else were excluded from society. Or you could see how society censored and suppressed the actions and independence of women. On page 42, "Thus you are of my party, beyond doubt. And now you would all falsely go about to love my lady, whom I love and serve." On the surface, it seems to be a heart-touching story, until you realize that the woman over which they are doting over have never met them before. Essentially, she's being claimed.
And in The Miller's Tale, you see either how the rich and upper classes are constantly cheating the lower classes with their wit and cleverness, which almost only increase the gap between the rich and the poor. The church has also played and tricked the people into devoting their lives to servitude, which most likely would not pay off. Or a call to action to the lower classes. To stop being so gullible to the upper classes, essentially blaming the problem on the victims themselves. Saying that stupidity and gullibility is society's flaws that leads to exploitation. On page 102, we were well agreed to this effect. Anon, this Nicholas should put in play a while that simple, jealous husband to beguile. The simplicity of Nicholas's trick and the fact that it succeeds is a statement that it does not take a lot to fool the working class. The story is a call for the uneducated to escape the trap set specifically for them.
In The Wife of Bath's Tale, revolves mainly around women in society, exemplifying the desire for power that women hold, as well as the softer personality they hold. It is revealed that every woman wants power, which society has deprived from them since the conception of man. The world has always held women to a lower platform, and The Wife of Bath's Tale is a vent for that frustration. Additionally, woman's perceived passive personality is shown by how the main character steals the power of a woman by raping her, and is not punished because the queen of the land is passive in her sentence.
But wait, there's more. If you call in the next 30 minutes, we'll throw in two more tales. The Pardoner's Tale, which solidifies the importance of correct morals and staying away from evils such as greed, gluttony, drunkenness, gambling, and so the list goes. On the surface, it seems that The Pardoner's Tale contains no duality and only comments on the basic evils of society, but the prologue offers a different look. On page 151, "I preach as you have heard me say before and tell 100 false japes, less or more. I am at pains then to stretch forth my neck east and west upon the folk I beck." We see that he's corrupt but still speaks on the sins of others, which could be understood as a statement saying that everybody sins.
The Pardoner's Tale also comes with the Nun's Priest Tale. Interesting story. An interesting story that, similarly to the partner's tale, focuses on the faults of individuals rather than that of the society as a whole. Who cares? It's free.
Just for commercial viewers, we have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We are offering all of these character building stories for the price of just one book. This offer is not available in stores. Just one easy payment of $19.99 is all that is necessary for you to own this book.
Please do not use Canterbury Tales if you are pregnant, have heart conditions, are missing any vital organs, think LeBron is going to win the NBA Finals this year, or have had chickenpox. Some side effects may include fatigue, confusion, mood swings, and disabled English skills. Please contact your high school English teacher before using Canterbury Tales.
Boy,
See about that?
Yeah, we sure will.
Oh, okay, old man.
Whoa, what are you guys still doing here?
What do you mean? My son and I have been with you since day one. Why would we leave now?
Because I'm dead?
So, remember all these riches we gave you from Rotgar? We're the reason for your success. Remember what you said to Igalak? I got lavish rewards from the Lord of the Danes for the part in the battle, and much else. And when you said, but half Danes the air, the shelter of those earls again endowed me with riches, with gifts and abundance. That was all because of us. We basically gave you those riches, and that gave you power.
So you'll still protect me with my wealth and power?
Well, yeah, your wealth is what gives you power, and making only a select few have power. We can't do anything about those calves, though. Beowulf in theaters now.
Want your friends to envy you? Put yourself in a class of your own. Luxury does not begin to describe the effect that the goat seats, noise cancellation, and smooth handling have on your driving experience. The car is not for the common man. It is for the man who indulges in himself.
This Chrysler transforms me into a new man. These leather seats define class.
Yes, indeed. The car's handling is so much smoother than a low-class car, such as a Toyota Corolla.
Also, check out these bass boosted systems. Take the aux. That's enough, Stop. Hey, also check out my doors. They open as smooth as... Ah!
Hey! You! What are you doing here? Get out of here!
Hey, you're the one that hit me off of my scooter. Just because I don't have a car doesn't mean you can just wave around treating me like trash.
You're the trash of society. I would be kinder to Mr. Worthing's handbag as to be born or at any rate in a handbag. Whether it has handles or not seems to me like a display of contempt for the ordinary decency of family life. That reminds me of one of the worst excesses of the French Revolution.
To speak classically, you are a handbag without handles, which Lady Bracknell would rather spit in than allow in her abode.
You know what? I don't have to live with this. Not again. Hey, I don't need you. Hey, what is this? Oh. I have an idea. Hey, I'm back.
Hello, good sir. It's quite a nice ride you have there.
Yeah. When I was on my bike, you guys treated me like trash. Now that I have this sweet new ride, I'm gaining lots of respect around these parts.
Sorry I misunderstood you. I didn't know you were quite this rich. Hey, anyways, have you read this book, The Importance of Being Earnest?
Yes, I have. I seem to relate to the character Jack Worthing in a lot of ways. You see, now that I have a new status, a symbol of status, like this car, I'm gaining a lot more respect than I should be, but my true self holds no value in this world.
Yeah, it's great how we always draw the long straw in society, and it is well deserved too.
Is it not weird that you called me trash not hours ago while I was on the floor, but now I'm your peer, only 2 feet higher off the ground?
What is your point?
My point is that you and Lady Bracknell are the same, only accepting my symbol over my person.
I don't need to listen to your lecture. Society will always fall in my favor, and I will always indulge myself in it. We will now bring you back to your video.
Oh, stay away from me.
Do you have any other words to say?
I'm gonna die with a smile on my face. Oh.